What an embarrassing game from the first quarter all the way to the third quarter. That might have been the worst football we've seen yet. The defense looked like a college football team that should be unranked. They were horrendous. Our run defense completely gave up. Our safety play, terrible. Our linebacker play, terrible. We lost in front of the whole world on prime time and in pretty ugly fashion. The final score 45-30. It looks a lot better on the box score, and we were somewhat in it towards the very end, but at the same time, we really weren't. We were down like 42-16 at one point. That is just unacceptable for a team that is supposed to have a lot of promise and be competitive in games. Colts players were running wide open. Nobody could stop them. Jonathan Taylor had a field day running the football, and so did Nyheim Hines. The Colts exposed us. Their offensive line manhandled our guys up front for a majority of the game. They got the most rushing yards in a single game as a team this season yet. Absolutely embarrassing. Unacceptable. We had C.J. Mosley too, so he is not really the finger to blame at because he wasn't playing. He was playing. Our safety play was terrible. Marcus May did not look good. He ended up being hurt too. So it's just looking like we really should have shipped him at the deadline. And for the offense, it's just a letdown because Mike White, he was looking pretty solid. And then after the touchdown pass, he gets hurt. Something with his tendon or his hand. We don't know, but he doesn't come back in the game. And Josh Johnson comes in. He doesn't look very good on the first two drives, but at least he finishes the game strong. I will say that. That's one of the positives from this game was Josh Johnson. He did a pretty good job of just stepping in there, throwing 3 touchdowns, 1 interception at the very end of the game. That was a forced pass, pretty ugly. But other than that, he did okay with our offense. I thought Mike LaFleur also did a solid job in the booth. This game lies on the defense, though. The defense was terrible. Jeff Ulbrich, what was he doing? I mean, same with Robert Saleh. There were some adjustments at halftime, but then again, I also don't believe so. Just because the Colts had such a huge lead, they took the foot off the gas. Because if they kept it on there, we seriously probably would have given up 60-plus points to this Colts team. This was like a New England embarrassing type of game defensively. Just really bad. They did step it up later on, especially the D-line, John Franklin Myers and Quinnen Williams, but the defense they were ghosts. We could not see them on the field. I didn't think we even had a defense based on the way the Colts were just running down the football field wide open and untouched. Tackling was poor, but this game it might have to lie on Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich because this defensive performance was something that they vowed would never happen again after the New England game. Was it as bad? Maybe not. Total yards wise? Oh yeah, it was a lot worse. This is on primetime national television. Denzel Mims, he had opportunities. He missed about half of them. He had some brutal drops, and he was visibly frustrated on the sideline, and that's not going to bode well with the coaching staff. So it was a huge opportunity for him. He made some catches, but other than that, I think his stock is going down, and I hate to say it, but I feel like the coaching staff will use this game against him. What else? Michael Carter, he was okay. The offensive line, the Colts were generating pressure a lot. Van Roten, more like Van Rotten. I mean, the right side of the offensive line with Morgan Moses, too. Not good. Elijah Vera Tucker, he whiffed on one play. Something uncharacteristic. They did not really do a good job. And it's just really unfortunate that we lost this game because what we haven't been able to do up to this point in the season is stack up good performances on good performances. This is not a good performance at all. It looked pretty bad. And Carson Wentz, he had a very nice day throwing the football on us. I thought we had some missed opportunities, but guys were open. Our cornerbacks were somehow no match for these wide receivers. I know I'm not an NFL GM or executive, so maybe my opinion doesn't matter too much, but I don't think Zach Pascal is the hardest wide receiver to defend in the league. How is he getting more open than guys last week like Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins? It doesn't make any sense, and it lies on coaching and the players too. But I will say this. Enough of the negatives. There were some positives. The offense did not give up. The offense didn't give up. They kept on fighting. They scored 3 touchdown drives in a row. That was pretty impressive. Was it garbage time? Maybe. But were the Colts just playing prevent defense? No. They were still sticking to their zone coverage like they were the entire game. So at least our guys had some fight. Josh Johnson, he was very upset at the end of the game because he did his thing. He was bawling out. He had heart in him. He wanted to finish and try and lead it an improbable comeback. Didn't end up working because of that forced pass, but anyways, he was frustrated. You feel bad for him. He's been a journeyman. I mean, I think he's been on 13 different NFL teams. So, I don't know. I think if Mike White is hurt, he will be starting next week, but we can't even think about that. Some other positives, though. Elijah Moore pops off the paper. Excuse me. He had a great game. 2 touchdown performance, many receptions and yardages is what we wanted to see. Him get involved in the offense. He made some very tough catches. We used him on a bit of end-around plays, although one of them did not work out. At least we were utilizing him, and the quarterbacks were targeting him. Mike White in the first quarter, and then Josh Johnson. He knew Elijah Moore was a safety blanket, so he was getting the football. That's something we love to see. The rookie receiver who we had a lot of expectations for because of him coming out of training camp with all the good news. Oh my God, he's blowing it up at Jets camp, and no one can guard him. The Colts had a tough time guarding him. Keelan Cole, I thought he had a pretty good game too overall. He did get a little bit banged up towards the end, but he did his thing. We saw Jeff Smith action too. Barrios, at least guys were getting some action. Ty Johnson, a bad fumble, but at least he fought for that last touchdown at the end. But that's about where the positives really stop. I mean, this is just a very disappointing and ugly game. We fall to now 2-6. So playoffs are looking very bleak at this point. I doubt it. We have a tough game against the Bills next time. The defense, I don't know what it is. I think I changed my mind. I think I do know what it is. I think the safety play is just terrible for us. Marcus May has not played well at all. He looked a hell of a lot better under Greg Williams than he does under Jeff Ulbrich and Robert Saleh. Is that due to aging? Maybe. Is it due to scheme? Maybe. Is it due to his just overall performance as a player? Maybe. We don't know. Ashton Davis, he can hit some players, I'll say that. But other than that, in coverage, it's a little bit suspect. I do like him, though. He has room to develop, so don't give up hope on him yet. But Marcus May, it's very concerning to say the least. And one last positive is Quincy Williams. Although he wasn't as flashy playing linebacker today, he made some nice plays on special teams. He was a guy that was making some hits. He was the first guy there to make contact. It's what you like to see. He didn't have any quit in him, and neither did really the entire offense as a whole. So that is the one positive to rest your head on. But for Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich, it's time to go to the drawing board and figure out what happened. And if I'm them, I don't even want to turn on the film for this game defensively. It's not going to be good at all. It's going to be very ugly. Missed assignments, bad coverage, poor technique. It was all of the worst things. Bad tackling too. We just straight up, Colts outplayed us. They really did. On primetime, a short week of rest. We thought maybe we had a chance with momentum. Mike White gets hurt. I think that does maybe change the closeness of the game a little bit, but even then, Josh Johnson, I mean, it was relatively close towards the end. Hell, I was thinking in my own mind, you know what, maybe some magic could happen, and then wouldn't you know, Troy Aikman says, oh yeah, it's not over yet. Next thing that happens, interception. So it's going to be a rough week for us Jets fans on Twitter and Instagram. I mean, we won a game, and now here we are back again to getting clowned on for this game against the Colts. They are a very good team, I will say that, but thought it was going to be a little bit more competitive since we were both running on a short week of rest. So that's about it. Let me know, Jets fans, what do you think? And Colts fans, how you feel about the win if you're watching this? I don't know. At least we had a better second half performance for sure, but the first half, that was ugly football. Not at all what we envisioned Jets football to be under Robert Saleh. Hopefully we can improve and fix it. Buffalo is a tough opponent that we will be going up against, but we do have a little bit more time to rest and prepare and execute, so we will see. Will Zach Wilson be the starter? We don't know. If I'm the Jets, if Mike White is healthy, I'm rolling with him. If not, I'm running with Josh Johnson. Let's activate Joe Flacco. It made no sense why we just had 2 quarterbacks active. Why not activate Flacco? You never know. This team has an injury history, so perplexing to say the least. Disappointing is probably the better word for this game. High hopes, let down. Don't get your hopes up too much, Jets fans. We still have a few years to come in that ways. But let me know what you think. Appreciate it, and I will see you all next one. Peace.